let's get right into it with some questions. The first question asked Shay Watkins. Hey girl, thank you so much for your question. Are dental hygienists able to travel like nurses? The answer to that question is yes. I'm not sure what exactly you meant by like travel as far as like, to another country or able to practice in another state. So if you mean like traveling within the state, absolutely. I mean, you can definitely go to different offices for sure. There are offices or like mobile carts that hire dental hygienists to go from city to city and they do dental work like that. I do know that as a dental hygienist, in order to practice in a state, you have to be licensed there. So I'm not really sure if that answered your question, but you are definitely able to travel to another country if you really, really want to and work for like volunteer work. You're able to do that. So I know there's a program that they do this every year around February. They go to DR, they take a cruise and they hit up all the islands and they do dental hygiene work, dental work for those in need of dental care. I hope that answered your question. Definitely, I don't know about nurses. I don't really know about the field in nursing. I'm not sure if they can be licensed in just one state and travel to, another state and practice legally. I know as us hygienists, we have to be licensed in that state. So when I went for my board exams, you fill out what states you want to be licensed in. And I believe they give you like 3 states, an option of 3 states. So definitely do your research and pick the state that you feel you see your future in, or you feel like you want to move to or live in. Next question, my girl Kylie Reyes. Hey girl. The question is, do you think dental assistants slash hygienists will be required to get the COVID vaccine even after all the PPE requirements? So that is actually a really good question. I was actually speaking to a colleague and believe it or not, the dental fields or dental professionals, we're not considered frontline workers, which is absolutely crazy because we are actually working inside of patients' mouths and there are aerosols going everywhere and we are actually high risk, right? So you would think that we would be frontline workers or I don't want to say first responders, but at least frontline workers where we are kind of prioritized for the whole vaccine thing. I know some nurses, like I have a couple of patients that are nurses who they were not able to get access to the vaccine because they weren't in a hospital setting, they were in an office setting. So I don't really know as far as like why this is happening. I don't know if maybe there's a shortage of vaccines. But required. If we are required, I don't know if we'll be required to have the vaccine. Honestly, guys, I should be a little bit more like involved or alert with politics, but when it comes to just like vaccinations and certain laws and regulations about the vaccine, I'm kind of just hesitant to touch on the subject just because I'm a little unsure. I mean, we are all unsure, we can only go based off of, yes, science-based evidence. I am huge on science-based evidence, but it's tricky. I'm not sure. I honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I know I have taken the flu shot in the past. So let me give you a quick example. When I had to do clinical rotations, we had to go to the VA hospital and we were mandated to take the flu shot. We had to take the flu shot in order to do our clinical rounds in the hospital. So, with this whole COVID thing that's going on, I'm not sure. That's a very good question. I'm not sure. I know that we are not considered frontline workers, so we're not like how in hospital settings they're making them take the vaccine. In our case, that's not the case. As far as like PPE guidelines in the office, N95 masks, level 1, level 3 masks are required, face shields. Some offices do require like the head protection PPE gown. Also, you know, I like the gowns that are like knee length. So, you know, to be honest with you, we just have to take precaution, right? We just have to wear a mask. That's it. Follow the protocol, the guidelines. But if you think about it, there's just so many vaccines out there that the medical industry or the pharmaceutical industry, whoever, you know, controls the vaccinations, there are a lot of vaccines that they offer or they tell patients, hey, you should get this vaccine because it, you know, you can't get cancer, ovarian cancer, for example, if you take this vaccine, or it reduces so-and-so strands of HPV or something like that. I know I sound ignorant, but let me tell you, there's a lot of just misconception or misinformation, or people who just kind of stray away from it. I don't know, due to side effects, due to lack of information. So it's tricky. We live in a tricky world right now, okay? It's a very complicated question. But I mean, I need my job, right? So if I'm in that, I guess, position where I had to take the vaccine, I mean, obviously I would have to, right? We're hygienists. So if like every office is requiring us to take the vaccine, we need to pay bills, right? So I guess, yeah, I'll take the vaccine. I just don't know if it's going to be required. Right now it's not required. That is the information I have on that. If you have any like thing you want to add on to that and like tell me how you feel about the whole vaccine thing, please comment down below. I would like to know your opinion, what you think about that. Alexandra, thanks for your question. Your question says, hardest class you've ever taken in dental hygiene school. Believe it or not, the hardest class I've ever taken, I would have to say, pharmacology. And believe it or not, that's the class that I did the best in. I don't know if it was because I was so mentally prepared from the previous graduate from the dental hygiene program. She's a dear friend of mine. She kind of like prepared me mentally. She mentored me throughout the program. So she told me, listen, this is what's expected of you in pharmacology. There's a lot of medications, the way the medications affect your body, long-term, short-term, like the list goes on and on and on. But I prepared myself so much the semester prior. Going into that class, I knew I had to tackle this class. And I feel like a lot when it comes to dental hygiene school and the classes, it's all mental. It's really what you're engaged in and how you really prepare your mind for the bookwork. I feel like I was ready to tackle this class and I tackled it, thank God. Pharmacology was definitely a very, very hard course. That class will make you or break you. That class determines whether you're going to continue in dental hygiene school or not. In my school that I attended, a lot of students flunked out of the program because of that class. That's the class that everyone warns you about, was pharmacology. There are classes that I just simply did not like. I'm just being very honest. I'm a mentor for dental hygiene students, aspiring dental hygienists. There are classes that you are just going to be like, why? Why am I here? Why am I taking this class? Like radiology, for example. Oh my goodness. Like the physics behind radiology was just, it was like, what? Okay, like cathode, anode, negative, positive, and the way the ray beams and, oh my God, scattered radiation, like slob rule, OMG, okay? As far as reading x-rays, hey, I love that part. Like, oh my God, that is, an impacted third molar, whatever, like, that's great, looking at pictures or radiographs and saying, wow, I can identify this. I can identify this pathology. That's fun. But the physics behind radiology was just, I think just the dislike in a class makes it hard because, again, you're not mentally there. Another class that kind of just, what made it hard was me not being that interested was dental biomaterials. I love the teacher, dope teacher. It's like, why? The making of the models, again, so much fun, but gypsum, the imbibition, the science just behind the reaction and all this stuff, the timing, and it's just so, oh my goodness. It just brings back flashbacks that I just don't want to remember. The challenging courses were radiology, dental biomaterials, just because I wasn't so interested in it. Physically, I was, okay? But just, yeah, no. Pharmacology was super fun. The most challenging, the hardest class I think you'll ever take. But if you're in it to win it, you will win it, okay? And just mentally preparing yourself, you'll get through it. So yeah, that, I know. I spent some time on that one because dental hygiene school is hard. All classes are hard. Next question. Does your GPA matter more than your points do? If so, what was your GPA points when you applied? I know every school is different. So yes, every school is different, and they do count points. So in my school, GPA was extremely important, and the GPA they looked at were your science courses. So my school focused on the points. I know. They focused on the points, and that's what made it very competitive. I know if you got an A, that gave you like 3 points. If you got a B minus, then it would give you like 2 points. So the 3 plus the 2, that's 5 points. So that's, then at the end they added up like, okay, so you have better points than this one, we're gonna take you. So they look at your science courses, and, obviously you wanna have those A's and B's so that you'll get more points. Does that make sense? But overall, you want to have a good GPA. My GPA was like, honestly, when I applied in my science overall was like a 2.9, like a 3.0. Yeah, my GPA, honestly, I had to retake courses, okay? It's very, very competitive. I had to take A&P 1 and 2. I took human bio, I got a B. And then I took A&P 1 and 2 and I got B pluses in those. And, I'm not an A student. So if you're thinking like, do I need A's in all my prerequisite courses? Like, absolutely not. You want to aim for the A. You want to aim for the highest GPA you can possibly get. But it's just unrealistic if you're just not an A student. You have students who don't even study and they can get an A. I was just not that student. I worked my ass off to at least get those B's and B pluses. I think the only class that I got A's in were like psychology and nutrition, okay? So, and of course my acting classes and my new media classes, but other than that, my prereqs for the dental hygiene program, I was just B student. So, hey, try your best, okay? C plus I know is what they require. My school required you to have at least a 75. So yeah, they did count points, and every school is different. Shadi, hey Shadi, thanks for your question. Your favorite and least favorite clinical experience. Ooh, so my favorite clinical experience, okay, and I'm gonna get a little political or a little, I don't know how to say this, but with everything that happened in 2020, I think this is appropriate for this question. I had a patient, her name was Elizabeth Walsh. So I will never forget this patient. She was an amazing and is an amazing soul. I go out to the waiting area and I call out Elizabeth Walsh, and there is a black woman with her husband and there is a white woman by herself, and I don't know, maybe other people. Anyway, long story short, I call out Elizabeth Walsh and I looked in the waiting area like anyone will look, Elizabeth Walsh. And the lady goes, that's me. The African-American woman, she goes, that's me. She's like, were you expecting someone else? So I knew what she meant. I knew she meant like, were you expecting a white woman? And in my mind, I was so taken back because I was like, whoa, what the hell just went on right now? Is this really happening? She intimidated me. She really did, because I was just like, I had to swallow my words and just gasp for air. Like, I didn't know what to respond to her. But she was so sophisticatedly dressed, so just beautiful. And she was an older woman, probably like in her 70s. Long story short, I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, I took her coat, I hung it up on the hook. And you know, like when it's not like she rubbed me the wrong way or anything like that. I just was so like taken back. Like, no, I'm not that kind of person. Like, please don't get the wrong idea of me. You know, like, nobody wants to, you know, introduce themselves and be like just starting off on the wrong foot. Does that make sense? So she comes in, long story short, we're talking about just her family and my family. And she can tell in my eyes that I was just stressed. I was drained from school. I think this was like third semester. This was second semester, okay? Second semester was hard, very, very hard. That's when I was taking pharmacology. And this is the best clinical experience that I had, because it showed me empathy. It showed me you have to be, every patient is different, and you have to be very, very sensitive when you're in this field. And we started talking about just like our spiritual journey, and she was telling me that her husband's a minister. So I was struggling, just, you know, my body was tired driving from home to school. Like, I was just tired. And sometimes you need just prayer, or you need just someone to tell you it's gonna be okay. And in the very beginning of our encounter, it was like completely 360'd by the time that I finished her as a patient, right? The regular in the clinic, so everyone knew her. And I saw just every time I would see her, she would get more comfortable with me, right? And we would just talk about family and just love, and just how life is so beautiful, and how we need to be just so, you know, sensitive towards one another, towards, you know, each other as human beings. And it was just, she really, really just changed my life as a dental hygienist, I must say. She really did. Towards the end, she gave me these gold earrings. She took off her gold earrings from her ears and said, these are for you. They're gold earrings. I want you to have these. These are for you. You are an amazing person, and you're going to be an amazing dental hygienist. And it was just so beautiful that she saw something in me that I've never seen in myself. And I just, it was just beautiful. Like, I would never forget her. I would never forget her. Towards the end of the clinical experience, like when it was her last visit with me, I asked her, I said, your husband's a minister. I want him to pray with me. Can he do that? She's like, yeah, we'll go outside and we'll pray together. I took a break. We went in the lobby and we all prayed together. It was us three, and we prayed, and it was just such a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I just want to put this out there since I'm talking about it. I pray for the world. I pray for healing. And yeah, I pray for everyone who supports me and my journey and this channel. I pray for all of you. You are all going to be great and wonderful no matter what you do. Anything that you do, you are going to be great. And that's the beauty of meeting people and doing what we do, is engaging with different patients from all walks of life, from just different countries, different areas of the world, different experiences, and they all teach us a lesson. They all teach us something different. And it was beautiful. It really was. I don't know what it is, why I said that was the best clinical experience of my life. It was. And till this day, like, just working, I've only been working in the fields for like 4 months, 3-4 months, but I have patients that come into the office, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. They really, really just help you grow. And I think that's what life is about. It's about growing. So I definitely grew from that clinical experience. I don't know why. I hope you guys don't take that the wrong way, but you kind of have to understand why people feel the way they feel or why they say things, and not just be ignorant or oblivious to things, and actually listen. So yeah. Let's talk about my worst clinical experience. So my worst clinical experience, I was actually not a dental hygienist at the time. I was a dental assistant. So very, very quick, because I know this video is just super, super long, but I want to answer all your questions. I was actually a dental assistant, and I used to work the front and the back. So I would assist the dentist and then pick up phone calls, make appointments, insurance, all that, right? So this was an urgent care facility just for dental. So this patient got an emergency extraction done. So she's done with her extraction. She walks up to the front. She's sitting down on the chair, and like there's like a counter, so I can see the patient, obviously. So I'm just minding my business, and all I hear is like this thump. This patient, no lie, fell to the floor and was like passed out on the floor. And I've like never had that experience. Obviously, I'm not experienced. I'm just a certified dental assistant at the time. Like, I just didn't know what to do. I wasn't even CPR certified at the time. So I like run up to her, and I'm like, oh my God, she's not waking up. So I like run to the back. I know, terrible, horrible, rookie, inexperienced. I run to the back. I tell the dentist, like, hey, the patient just passed out in the front. He's like super calm. Like super calm. He's like a resident. He's like, at the time, super calm, comes up, you know, the patient's on the floor. He goes on one knee, like he kneels down on one knee, and he's just like staring at the patient and like waiting for her to wake up kind of thing. And I'm panicking. I'm looking at him like, should I call an ambulance? And the woman wakes up and she's like, no, I'm fine. No ambulance was called. Okay. She's like, no, I'm fine. The owner of this place was like, oh, it was just probably, you know, a reaction from the epinephrine. And I'm like, WTF. Obviously, I was not experienced. I had no idea, you know, what the hell to do. Now, obviously, it would have been a lot different if that were to happen again. But that was like my worst experience ever in a dental facility. Like, I've had some, honestly, I've never had like a bad experience where like a patient just, you know, a patient and I are just not getting along or anything like that. Like, no. But that, things like that, like emergency situations, yeah, no. Especially like the fact that I wasn't experienced at the time, that was my worst clinical experience. I love you guys, by the way. Thank you for your questions. So next question, Daphne. Hey, Daphne. What year did you find was your most difficult one, and how did you get through it? My worst year, no lie, was my first year of dental hygiene school. My first year of dental hygiene school was like, I was so, like, you know when you want something so bad, and the way you think it's gonna be and it's gonna go, it just completely goes the complete opposite way? That's exactly what happened. I had the intention that dental hygiene school was gonna be like this girls club and girl power, and like mind you, because there was only girls in my class. Not that, men can't be in dental hygiene school. No, that is not what I'm saying. Just, we were all girls. So I thought, oh my God, we're like a sisterhood. This is going to be awesome. It's just, going to be fun and not freaking hard, or not as hard. I was so depressed. I don't think anyone knew what I was going through or what I was feeling, especially on those drives. Like, I feel like if it wasn't for those hour drives, because I drove an hour, I used to commute an hour back and forth, those drives saved my life. I was able to wake up early. Okay, I was up like 4:45 in the morning every morning for school. I was able to wake up early, meditate, take my drive, have my coffee, listen to my music, pray on my way to school. And after school, even though I was exhausted, that hour back, the drive back, was like, there were times where I wanted to I'm like, all right, I'm just going to drive off the... No. I was able to just meditate and just think, okay? But if it wasn't for those drives, my first year was hell. It was a huge adjustment, like studying, being able to find out a study routine. I was eating my feelings, okay? I gained so much weight. I gained like 22 pounds in dental hygiene school. Yeah, it was that bad. I was just going through it. Like, I'm an emotional wreck already. And like the fact that dental hygiene school, I didn't have anyone like close to me. I didn't have friends, like in the sense where it's like, okay, I could trust you, like my first year, obviously. Then as the time kept going, I'm like, okay, I got my girl. Like, I had one girl that I was just really, really close with, in the sense like she knew everything I was going through, feeling like she was an A student, straight up A student. And she would just motivate me so much. And of course my family, of course you guys, like, and then by the end of dental hygiene school, we were all a family. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, I've come a long way, but first year was a huge adjustment, mentally, physically, spiritually. You're tested. Like, it was hard. It was so hard. That year was difficult. So prepare yourself mentally if you want to be a hygienist. If you're applying to dental hygiene school, I feel like my last year, I was ready. I was ready to just graduate. Like, you're already in your zone. You know that you've gotten that far. So I feel like just first year, you just don't know. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's coming. But there's that cliche quote. It's like, enjoy the process, So I definitely tried my best to enjoy the process, and I did the best I could. I really did. But my first year was very difficult. So thank you for that question. How did I get through my first year of dental hygiene school? The most difficult year of dental hygiene school for me, okay, faith is a huge, huge thing. Whenever you hear like those successful motivational speakers and they talk about God, or they talk about faith, or they talk about believing in yourself, you need to make those affirmations, okay? I got myself a dry erase board, and I would write down, like, you got this, okay? You got this. Thank you, God. Thank you for everything. Like, I was so grateful. And I feel like just meditation and just writing in a journal or writing down your feelings is super important, especially if you get overwhelmed and you're just an emotional person like me. So journaling was a huge thing for me. I have so many journals, and that would help me get through my days. So I would journal a lot of rest. I would have a time like that I would be in bed because I had to be up so early. Also, just coffee. That got me through dental hygiene school. My family got me through dental hygiene school, and talking to your teachers. I mean, I tried my best not to bother them because they're intimidating, and they have so much going on. They're trying so hard to get us through the program, but definitely, being respectful and accepting the process and accepting the work, because they've all done it. They've all been there. So your professors know what you're going through. And, you know, just having that one person in the program that you can actually talk to, you know, I think that's important. Being selective with your time, not going out. I had no life, and I still don't, you know, but just not engaging in things that are clouding your judgment or clouding your space, your aura, your mental. Definitely setting time for study. That helped me get through it. And yeah, repetition. Like, you're in a routine for dental hygiene school. You are in a routine, and nothing can get in between those nicks and crannies or cracks of your emotional instability, because you're gonna feel like, oh my God, I'm losing it. I'm unstable right now. I don't know what to do. And you need to just be focused. Focus was a huge thing for me. Like, I knew I need to focus because I need to graduate, and I am going to graduate. And that's what helped me get through dental hygiene school and my first year of dental hygiene school. So yeah, I did those prereqs. I'm like, I've gotten this far. I'm in the program. No. No going back. So no going back. Last question. So this question is from Brianna Silva. Hey girl. What advice would you give to women with children that get into the dental hygiene program? That is great. I have a lot of friends that I call sisters from my dental hygiene program who have children. Okay. Shout out Carolyn. Shout out Clarabelle. Lauren. Who else has babies? Erin has a baby. So listen, okay, I'm gonna talk to you about my friend Erin. Give you an example, just to inspire you and motivate you, because all my women that have children and are in the program, gotten through the program, girl, there was a pregnant girl in the program. Okay, if you feel anywhere near discouraged because you have beautiful children, throw it out. Do not listen to that noise. Okay. I have a friend, her name is Erin. Yes, I'm putting her name out here. I love you, Erin. She was in the program, got diagnosed with breast cancer, okay? Fought breast cancer, okay? She had a baby, okay? She has a baby, beautiful, handsome young boy. And she got back in the program. She re-entered the program and graduated, okay? There's a girl who was pregnant, okay? Carolyn, love you, girl. She was pregnant in the program, got pregnant in the program with twins. Oh, how can I forget Baisley? Girl, Carolyn had twins, dropped 1 year, got back in the program, graduated, okay? Brittany Baisley got pregnant, dropped 1 year, came back. Lauren has 2 girls. Stephanie, I could just think of so many girls. I'm just naming. Why am I doing this and being just extra right now? Because don't put obstacles in front of you that do not exist. You can do this, okay? Find a way, but there is a way, okay? Don't even think of that way. Just do your prereqs. This is what you want. You can do it, okay? I've seen so many strong women who don't have help, okay? Who are single, do it alone, okay? I don't know your situation at home, but if there is a way, there's a will, or if there's a will, there's a way. I don't know how that term goes, but I give it to those women with children who got through that program. Because those women inspired me, okay? Those women inspired me so much. Until this day, they do. Okay? Any woman who does anything that have children, I give it to you, okay? My advice is, this is what you want, you can achieve it. Because I have bomb rock star friends with kids who are doing it alone and get through the program. Flunk out, or not flunk out, they have to take a semester off and then they come back. So, or a year off and then they come back. So listen, take your prereqs, do what you gotta do, and get through it. This career is such a rewarding career, and if this is what you want, you are giving yourself a better life for yourself and for your children. So that is the advice that I have for that. And I got you. You need any help, questions, advice, like just holla at me in the comments. I'll give you all the love and all the good energy that you need, but you can do this. Yeah. Those were all the questions that were asked on my YouTube community post page timeline. Thank you so much for all of you who asked questions. I love you so much. Thank you for the questions. I have another video that I'm going to be posting for you very soon. Okay, it's some tea, okay? It is some tea about me. And yeah, we have to talk, all right? So I love you, my dental hygiene family. Thank you so much for following me on this journey and being a part of my life. I love you all so much. We're doing great, big, huge, wonderful things. We are making magic, creating, inspiring patients, loving patients, being great, wonderful. If you are a hygienist, I love what you do. We're doing it together. You're doing great things. If you are an aspiring dental hygienist, you got this. You got this, all right? I know how it feels, and you got this, all right? If you are in the program and, hygiene, when you want it, it's yours. Just bust your ass and believe in yourself, okay? You got this. Anything else? No. That's it. That is it. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's. I hope you all had a great Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. But I love you all so much, and I will catch you in the next video.